Welcome to Forum 360, where we have a global outlook from a local view. I'm your host, Leah Love, and today I am so excited because we have the cool kids on the block with us. This is the Cool Kids Clubhouse Daycare that recently opened up in Cuyahoga Falls. We have co-directors, Sol Calmes and Sherry Graves. So thank you all for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
So tell us a little bit about the Cool Kids Clubhouse.
Well, we're a new child care center in Cuyahoga Falls. We recently opened in June. We're about at half capacity right now, and we're just enjoying every moment of it.
Okay, so what made you open up the daycare center?
Well, during the pandemic, my home care had to shut down most of its operations, and we decided to do a pandemic child care center to help out during this pandemic. And we got certified. The licensing agent said, hey, you guys did so well during the pandemic. You should start a real child care center. And that just reminded me of my love of children. I worked in the field as a Head Start teacher years and years and years ago.
Okay.
And that's when we decided, yeah, it was time.
So what makes your daycare different from others?
Well, I think the love of children and the care of that we give our families. I think we individualize our learning experiences for each individual child, and we care a lot. We make sure it's encompassing for the whole family care.
Okay.
And one of the things we try to do is, even though regardless of the education level that each staff member has, we want to make sure that they love children. And that's like a #1 criteria.
Okay. Tell me about some of your staff credentials and training plans.
Well, we do have staff who have CDAs. That means they have certifications for early childhood education. We also have people that are degreed in early childhood education, as well as people who are doing professional training. So we make sure all of our staff members receive the professional training that they need.
Yeah, and that's true. We have some teachers who may not have been teachers before, but because of their love of children, and some people are natural born teachers. They just are. They may have been in another career or another field, and they have a love of children and they wanted to get into this. So we make sure that they complete their continuing education and that they are qualified to do the job, and we help oversee and guide them.
Okay. So let's say a parent is looking for a quality daycare. What are some of the things that they should be looking for?
They should be looking for just some of the things that we mentioned. Staff that's responsive, that cares, that looks at their child as an individual, asks them questions about their child, want to know how they as parents teach them, how they respond best. People learn in different ways, and you want a child care center where you walk in, you feel welcome, the children are happy there. They're not always happy the first week or so, but you know, most of the children are happy when you come in, and they're saying hello to the tours that come through. You want to see that niceness from the staff and encompassing them.
And that the place is clean and that children are well cared for. We're constantly wiping noses, but we just want to make sure that they know that we care about their child, and we don't want them just running around looking any kind of way. And so we just make sure they're clean and taken care of and changed when need to be changed. We have a schedule every 2 hours where we change children. If they're dry, we also make sure we check an hour later. So we just want to make sure that they're healthy and clean.
So saying that, are there any things that parents have to provide to the daycare? Like, do they have to bring their own diapers or anything, food, meals, snacks, all that kind of stuff?
Typically, we have, if children haven't been potty trained, they bring their own diapers. But we also have them bring an extra change of clothes so that if they have an accident or something happens, we can change the child. Our infants we tend to have the parents bring the food for the infants, but the older children and the older infants, and the preschoolers, we provide meals for them. We provide an AM snack, we provide lunch, and then a PM snack.
Okay. All right. And is that like any restrictions or anything that you guys focus on with the food or not include with the food?
Well, we try to give healthy meals, but we do ask the parents if there's any concerns, any restrictions that they have, or if the children have any type of allergies. So we have to make sure we consider all those things.
Okay. All right, so if somebody comes in for a tour of the center, what does the tour consist of? What can they look forward to with that?
Well, we usually start off by greeting them at the door and welcome them to Kidz Clubhouse. And then we show them the whole center, even though they might specifically be a certain age group. We just want them to see the whole center as a whole so they get a feel for our center and meet some of our teachers, because some students may be going from one teacher to another teacher depending on the age of that child. So we kind of just show them the whole center, introduce them to our teachers, tell them a little bit about ourselves. And then we bring them to the office and tell them more details about Brightwell and how we communicate.
What's Brightwell?
Brightwell is an app that we use. We always kind of phrase it as it's kind of like Facebook for kids. And we make sure that on Brightwell we can upload pictures of the children throughout the day. And then parents also can message us and we can message them. They can even message administration directly if they just have a question to us about the center and policies that we have. So we also are able to put the parent handbook on the Brightwell app, and they can view that at any time as well. Leave anything out?
Well, and during the tour, they ask us a lot of questions, and we answer every single one of them. We make sure that there is nothing that they have concerns about that we will not address, and that is important for them to, if they have a list, then we go through the whole list and we answer all of their questions. And we try and take time and be patient with parents, because this is your most precious gift. So we want them to know that we're willing to answer anything, talk about anything, address anything that they need at our center.
So I know one of the questions that parents have sometimes is, can they just pop in whenever they want, just to see the kid? How do you handle that?
Most certainly. We always tell them, as long as your child is here, you are welcome here at any time. You can call us at any time, come at any time. Even rest time when the lights are low throughout the center, we make sure that they know that they can come by. Our door is open. It's not physically open. There is a lock on it. But if they come to the center, we'll most certainly let them in. It's only locked for safety purposes. But back in the day, you could leave the doors open and things like that, but we can't do that anymore. But they are definitely welcome, and any parent will tell you they're buzzing us right in. They're running to the door. If the buzzer is not working, they make sure that we get in and see our kids, and anytime they're welcome.
And we also assure them that they can call us as many times as they want. We've had parents call us 4 to 5 times a day when their children first start, just to make sure that they're okay. And we try to send more pictures of the children during that time. Say, see, he's playing or she's playing. They're not crying like they were when you first dropped them off. So it just gives them a reassurance that they're going to be fine.
I'm sure, because anxiety with leaving your child somewhere, especially if it's the first time, can be very rough for a parent. So that's good that you're able to put them at ease. And we mentioned earlier that you started this with a pandemic. So with COVID, I'm sure that sanitary protocols and measures are at the top of the list. So how do you handle those sanitary protocols within your center?
Okay. We generally start by making sure that the parents are aware that anytime their child has a cold at this time, if it is something that they consider like pressing, they should give a COVID test to that child, just to make sure that that child is not positive for COVID. But in addition to that, we clean a lot at our center. We definitely make sure that we are disinfecting all areas, cots, washing sheets every week. We disinfect every toy in the center every Friday. And our parents have come in on a Friday, and Friday is our big disinfection day. We disinfect every day, all day long, and especially in the infant rooms, their toys are washed every day, all day long. But for the older classrooms, there's a big, huge disinfection that takes place every week, just to make sure that we are germ-free. And, you know, parents have told us about centers who they come in, and they've wanted to see the bathrooms. I'm like, come see our bathroom. Yes, come see. We make sure they see the whole center. And, you know, it's good. It's really nice that I think COVID put us on alert. I think it helped because we are now disinfecting more. We are now making sure that tables are cleaned, hands are washed, different things like that are happening.
So what do you think is the biggest concern or question that you get from parents?
Biggest concern.
That's a good question.
I think more than anything, they just want to make sure their child is going to be safe. There is a concern about just making sure that they're healthy and safe, and that we're going to pay attention and make sure their child is getting the needs that they need. We have a sheet where we tell them to set goals. So we sit down with them and talk to them about what are the goals for your child, because they usually, you know, have something like, my child isn't as far as my another child in a certain area, and we just try to reassure them that children develop at different stages, and that they might have strengths here and other things that they need to continue to develop. So I think that's more than anything, they just want to know that their child is going to get the attention that they need.
Yeah.
Perfect. And if you are just joining us, we are talking to co-directors of the Cool Kidz Clubhouse, which is located in Cuyahoga Falls. And this is Sol Calamise and Sherry Graves. Okay, so getting back to that, what is your philosophy on learning and how you are preparing your children?
Well, I'll start because we definitely make sure it's individualized. We are going to progress them toward kindergarten, being ready, but we start from where they are. Some children are advanced, some children need to be moved up during the learning time so that they can be challenged. So we just make sure that they're in the appropriate group for where they are developmentally, and we work on those goals individually. So if this one needs to work on walking, this one needs to work on ABCs, they may be ready for reading, sounds, math, simple problems. So they're all different, but we do make sure that we follow some early learning development standards, and Sherry can speak a little bit more to that.
Yeah, we do follow the early learning standards, and we talk about cognition and knowledge as well as literacy. Literacy is a big one because with the pandemic, some of our children haven't had the socialization that we've kind of gotten used to in the past, and so they're coming in somewhat a speech delay. So we're trying to make sure that we are constantly talking to them and interacting with them when they play, explaining what things are, and just trying to increase their vocabulary and get them to conversate. There are some children who really didn't say anything when they came in, and now they're saying 2- and 3-word sentences. And we are excited about that. We're proud. The parents are coming in telling us and giving us feedback and saying, oh my gosh, I love this place. And even though we might not always see the improvement right away, they're coming back and telling us they're doing more talking at home, they're more engaged. And that just makes us really excited about the work that our teachers are doing.
Yeah. Awesome, I love it. What do you think would be the best features of the center?
Best features, I think one of the biggest features we have is not only are we more of a small center, so we can have more teachers to our students, but also I think it's the diversity that we have. Yeah. We have children, we have biracial children, we have black children, African Americans, we have Hispanic children, Somalian. So it gives
Caucasian,
us a Caucasian, a wide range of different cultures in our center, and we really appreciate that. And not only is it diverse children, we have a diverse staff. We have staff that are white, black, Hispanic. We did have some Somalian at one point, but
Male,
we do
female.
male, female. It's just a wide range.
And
Diverse.
someone even on the autism spectrum is assistant teacher. So we try and be inclusive to everyone, and I think that is very different to a lot of centers out here, and it's kind of indicative of the community where you are, where you work, where you go to school. We want to make sure that they are getting these experiences early on, so that, you know, acceptance is important of different abilities, of different cultures, and it's just very, a lot of people comment on it when they walk in the center, because they're like, this is very different, and we love it. We love it.
Yeah. So let's say you have somebody who's watching who is thinking about opening a daycare, and they want to know, what are some of the challenges that you had? And speaking in general, what were some of the challenges that you had in creating this daycare program center?
Starting off, you know, there's a lot you have to learn. It takes a while to start up a center. I mean, I say immerse yourself in the laws and rules, learn as much as you can. Because
you think you're just going to go out and just open a center, and it's not as quickly as you think, right?
snap your fingers and poof, a center appears. And it wasn't
construction
hard
done,
work
it's
at
good to
all. No hard work at all. You know, building codes, fire codes. In addition to the licensing, there are all kinds of things that you need to consider when you're opening a center. Budgetary concerns. Management is so important in this area, and just loving being a teacher is not enough. I think in a sense we're stronger together as co-directors because we have different strengths and different weaknesses. And I think, you know, and staffing. Staffing is always a challenge for everyone.
Everyone.
And so it's so difficult because, you know, people find other jobs or, you know, different things happen. But staffing has been, you know, one of our biggest challenges. But we pride ourselves on our staff and how we really search for the right individuals for our center, the right people.
Yeah, I think we complement each other well. And like you said, there's like the parent handbook that's got to be done, and the operations and just employment packets and things like that that you have to deal with and address. And it's just a lot of hard work, but when we need to, we get in and help out wherever we need it, wherever we're needed. So.
Wherever.
So if a parent is, you know, talking about your manuals and procedures, if a parent is asking you about if their child is not behaving correctly, how do you handle that discipline? How do you guys handle when children are not acting in the best light?
Yeah. All children have challenges. They all have challenges at times. I think, you know, trying to find out what's really wrong is important. Communication. It's not a blanket system of just throw them in timeout scenario. No. There are ways to get in timeout, obviously, in different classrooms, but I think our teachers work more towards what's wrong, why did you do that, how can we change this behavior, how can we work with you to figure out why something happened as opposed to just a consequence. A lot of times there's reasons. They may be tired. Something happened. We talk to the parents about what's going on in their world because things do affect them, and parents may not even realize it's affecting them. And so we're seeing a behavior change. We're trying to find out why, and we're correcting. We're asking them questions. We're asking them to help self-correct What do you think you should do? What do you think you should say to your friend? Different things. Just instilling those character and those values in them so that they'll feel that wasn't nice to do or something, I should apologize and things like that. So we try and work with them.
And I think our teachers are really good at trying to help them, give them options to problem solve. It's like, what can you do? Can you say stop? Can you to use your words and explain, hey, I was playing with that. So I think there are things that we do to try to show them there are things you can do to help resolve this. Even sometimes you just want to step back and go pick another toy to play with. Because sometimes they just, it's a difficult concept to share.
I know.
Sharing is a very difficult concept. Even adults have trouble with sharing.
Yeah.
So
some of the younger ones we may have to redirect. They're not going to share. We'll get another toy out. You play over here. You play over
You
here.
like this so much.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't this fun? Maybe some music time. Getting that energy out also, do something else. Do something active for them.
Okay, and you said, tell me about your openings, your enrollment process. How does that all work? And where are you at now looking for more children?
Okay. Well, our 0 to 12 month, we have our full. We only have 4 beds. We only accept full-time students in that age group from 0 to 12 months. But as we have a wait list, so as openings come up, we make sure that we call the parents and let them know if they haven't found anyone that we have an opening coming up. As far as 12 months to 5, we're still accepting in all areas right now. But as we get fuller, we will we track when they're moving up to a different classroom. We do a transition plan with their parents so that we know exactly when they're transitioning to a group and when we'll have an opening available in that group. But right now, we're only at about half capacity, so we have availability to accept students right now.
Perfect. So tell me if you have one student that comes to mind that you feel has really touched your heart, you just love the story and experience that you've had with this child.
One of our earlier children, he came in, they were saying he was maybe around 12 months. He was about 2.5 at the time. They were saying his verbal speech was about 12 months. And he was having tantrums and different things. And we were like, we'll accept him, come, bring him. And we worked really hard with this student. We loved him through some of the challenges he was facing. And he may, as he turned 3, been diagnosed on the autism spectrum. But he's speaking sentences now. Okay. And, his grandmother, his parents, everybody has seen such a big difference. He's just blossomed under it just brings tears to my eyes because he's really blossomed. He's really sharing. And there are days when he needs to be by himself, move. He'll go to the corner and say, to the quiet corner and say, I need some peace because it's too active in here. But he knows those skills now. He doesn't have to lash out or be upset. He's gained those skills where he can calm himself down. He can restrain himself when he's upset and he's told no. He doesn't have to, no, we're doing this right now. He's like, he has to think about it for a minute, but he doesn't just act out. And he's grown so much. He has a speech therapist who comes in to our center. They observe him, and he's doing so much better. I just can't even tell you how much. It's awesome.
I know, that's awesome for the parents.
Yeah. I think that story is true to our hearts for all of us because he was one of our earlier students. But we do have another younger student who started, and she was basically, just not very interactive, didn't smile a lot. She wasn't able to talk or anything like that, but just seemed like she didn't have a lot of socialization. And so now she smiles. I mean, she wouldn't even smile when she came in the center. She wouldn't smile during the day. And now she smiles a lot. She interacts with, and now she's very expressive. She's hitting those twos, and so she's very expressive about not, getting what she wants. But just seeing that change in her as far as the socialization and emotional side of her is just it's really exciting to see her blossom and grow and just be happy. So.
Oh, I am so excited, and congratulations to you both. I know this was not an easy feat, but we wish you 10 more years of success, 20, 30 plus.
Thank you.
And if you all are looking for a place to send your children, or if you have friends that are looking for a place, please contact them, and you can schedule a visit so you can take a tour, so you can get a good feel of where you will be able to leave your child. So I am your host, Leah Love, and thank you for joining us for Forum 360, where we have a global outlook with a local view. Have a great week.
Forum 360 is brought to you by John S. and James L. Knight Foundation, the Akron Community Foundation, Hudson Community Television, the Rubber City Radio Group, Shaw Jewish Community Center of Akron, Blue Green, Electric Impulse Communications, and Forum 360 supporters.